Hey, you guys, what's going on? Coach Coco, your girl for all things wellness and lifestyle. And I just wanted to jump on real quick because it's been a little while, and a lot of us are, I think, at this point, thinking spring. I really do hope to all of us thinking spring. And this morning I woke up and forgot my water. So I am really thirsty and we'll be drinking lots of water through this. But I wanted to jump on because a lot of us don't know my story, and I feel like I really need to convey that today. I don't know what it is. I think it's spring. I've been dealing with these allergies, but also just it's been harder and harder to go to work lately. And it really reminds me about how, I started my journey teaching 20 years ago. I was 22 years old. And at 22, I had, you could say, my life ahead of me. But what I've learned in these past 22 years is rocking my world. And so I need to come back to my story. And for those of you that don't know, my family came from Colombia in the 80s. We were running away from the war on drugs and we settled in New Hampshire. And I went to school, I went to university, and I graduated as a teacher. And I was really proud. Um, I have been doing this for 22 years, but lately it's been getting harder and harder to get to school. And it was, when I started realizing things about money, I was, in recent grad from college, I started realizing money and how much money I owed. And I got myself into terrible debt, terrible, terrible debt that I recently was able to get through. And I am facing a time in my life where I don't want to go back to those patterns. And I want to do so in a way that is helping the world, right? And so I went into teaching 22 years ago, not really knowing anything about money, not really knowing anything about how to even survive as an adult, and going into this tremendously difficult, challenging, impossible career, right, as a teacher. And when I started teaching, I, just went off with what I had learned. I used that. And when I was about 35, things started to, there were just signs of not taking care of myself, not, I was a lot of my new jobs going out of college were my heavy commutes. I was definitely somebody who put everyone in front of them, before themselves. So I was running out of, with, zero energy basically, but I was young. I didn't know. And recently it's been getting really tough to go to work because I've been losing my why. Why do I go to work? Why do I teach? Why? And I feel like I need to come back to basics with you, because I need to tell my story. And everybody has a story. Everybody has a reason why they get maybe curious or started with maybe self-improvement, self-health, self-help. Okay. Like during my 20s, I was tremendously, it was up and down, I would party and then I would come back and try to teach. And I would party and I would try to come back to teach. And I did this many, 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 many years, where I couldn't tell you how much alcohol I would drink because it was that much, right? And I couldn't tell you how many sort of all-nighters I would pull, because it was that much. And when you do that for a long time, your body starts to flare up, right? There are going to be signs along the way. I lost, my hair. I just had zero energy. And when I kind of was, I was at, it was 2014. Um, I was really on Hell's on Wheels, right? Like I would party, happy hours and then, drive and then go home. I was kind of obviously nasty because I was tired, drunk, like you name it, like things were falling apart. There were really a lot of things in my life that were amazing, amazing. And the people that I met were amazing, are amazing. But how I was treating myself was not amazing. And I was starting to feel it, right? And I would show up to work and I think I was, again, taking naps during preps. I was hungover, like I was just putting up a big front, putting up a big front. And then on top of that, I was in that kind of spiral of a lot of debt, a lot of debt, a lot of debt. So it was crazy to think that all of this was happening. And we all go through maybe moments of a lot of stress. I was on my way definitely to stroke. I was definitely on my way to heart disease. I was definitely, things that I could have avoided. Like, and it was one, crazy day because I was, also a fanatic of sports. I love being an athlete. I love being able to move. It's freeing. It's always been very important to me. I mean, I just absolutely love it. But even that was going away in my life. And in 2014, I got into an accident and it kind of jerked my world. Um, I couldn't move. My neck had been like basically, whiplash. It was crazy. And I got up from that accident thinking, I'm alive for a reason. I'm alive for something. Like something is telling me that I need to do something different. And when we left California now 7 years ago, I was, like I said, fat, sick, and nearly dead. I was partying every weekend. I was going out every night. Like it was the big hurrah. That lasted forever, right? All 7 years. And it was like being on vacation land. And when I left California and then became a mom, I mean, talking about like things going nuts, right? It clashed completely, not only in lifestyle, but also in just responsibility. And so I'm dealing now today, where I have a 4 year old, I'm a work, I still work, full time, thankfully, and I'm very happy, but I'm having a hard time going to work. And I'm having a hard time going to work because I'm not telling my story and I'm not on purpose. And when I think about exiting the teaching career, I don't. I don't think of what I'm doing today as exiting the teaching career. In fact, I've gained a whole other life where I can sustain a teaching career and help other people. And so I think that that's been something that for me is something that's important to say because if I hadn't been that low in my life, and I hadn't been still like, I can't give up. It's New Year's again. I've got to try this. I've got to be better for myself. I've got to do this for myself. I wouldn't have stumbled on this opportunity and I wouldn't have stumbled on even just remotely making more of an impression than I, do that with my high school students. So it's really important to me that everyone understand that everyone's story matters. And I feel that, especially today, we're so busy. We're so busy trying to, like, I forgot my water today. Like, I don't have time to drink water. I didn't have no time to go to the bathroom. I have no time for myself at school because I'm working with students. And these are good things. These are very positive things. And I have the energy to do it most days, thank goodness. And I wanted to just pause for a second because a lot of us know that I've been posting pictures about before and after pictures and stuff. And I just want to make sure that you guys know, even if you aren't interested in getting healthy or you already are like outstandingly, amazingly in health, this is amazing. But you got to know now that there's another way, right? And so, like, when you're researching, when you're doing all those things, I'm just like, I was so curious when I was at my lowest point. Like, I wanted to find out what I could do to self improve, what I could do to just feel like I'm doing something. A lot of it is feeling, and it went to this road of like, my friend Caroline was posting about her and how her and I were very good friends, and we, kept in touch. And I moved out to California and we kept in touch. And then she just, I don't know, posted a picture and she was hiking. And I was so low in my own relationships, in my own wealth, in my own family dilemma, right? I didn't know um, if I was going to see, you know, our relationship through. I didn't know if I was ever going to see my, like having to go back and forth after getting married out in California. Would I be just like just living in California? Would I go back to New Hampshire? Like all of these things. And what if I had a family? Like I was not thinking those things. And I definitely felt like my place was, I was rushing to work. I was trying to make ends meet. We were renting for $21,000 a year. We were simply going down a way that I didn't see clearly. And when the idea of coming back to New Hampshire, I was like, I don't want to go. I felt like I hadn't given California like a chance, but I also felt like, what was the reason for me to stay? Right. So I knew that I had found something that I could rely on, and I brought it back with me, right? I brought Herbalife Nutrition back with me from California. It's a company based out of California. It's in 95 countries, you guys. It's an open market like company on Wall Street. It's made with the best intentions, right? The idea is being healthy. And a lot of us, like myself, okay, just don't maybe understand sometimes. Like I didn't understand like what this was going to even do for my life. Like I look at pictures of myself. I was in Las Vegas and I was at a teachers conference and I wasn't included in the list to attend. And so I lost the first full day of the conference. And I was so disappointed. I was like, this is the one thing. Like, I can't afford a vacation. I can't afford, never mind, like a luxurious trip. Like, I was taking the bus from Los Angeles or San Francisco area to, there's just some limitations like living out there, right? The amount of money, the amount of stress. If you're working class, right? Like if you're a teacher, you couldn't necessarily live in the place where you taught. I luckily was at one town down, but people were commuting hours to get to work. Um, it was incredibly fast lifestyle, and then to have no family nearby, it just seemed like a really big loss of opportunity in my life because I had traveled, but I'd always gone back to New Hampshire. And when this opportunity to go to California arose, um, I just felt like, why not? Like I have nothing to lose, right? Like there weren't any jobs in California. First of all, for what I was doing and with my career, I wanted to teach Spanish. That was also limited. So it finally worked out where I'm back in California, and now my idea of like life and lifestyle, of course, have changed over time. Um, so much so that it's getting hard for me to get up and go to work in the morning. And it's getting hard for me to get up in the morning because there's so many things that I can't fix, right? I can't fix the way things are run at the school. I can't fix how students are getting, just it's very difficult, to find good teachers, right? There's not enough help, right? We are constantly under stress. Um, there are great things happening at the high school, but there are things that we cannot fix, right? And so what happens when it's getting harder and harder to get up and go to work every day? And when I look at what I haven't been talking about, it excites me. I'm very excited. It reminds me of my story, and it reminds me how important people need to know. Like, you don't need to know anything about health. You don't need to, um, even speak English. You don't need to speak like Spanish either. You can speak one, you can speak both. Like it's the curiosity around how do I get around maybe that like I'm not feeling like, and so I always think of the things that make me happy and doing this and helping others find quick fixes, find real sustainable. I've been doing this for 8 years. The company's been around for 42 years, you guys. Seeing the results, seeing people to people, right? You can get anything from anywhere. But why do I do this? It's because it's changed my entire being and it's changed my entire life. It's helped me have healthy options at any moment in my day, right? So I wanted to jump on because I have four of these awesome little samplers, and you get amazing beverage options so you can stay satiated. You get me as your coach for 10 days. You and I lock arms and we get to talk about your goals, your future. What is it that excites you about the future? For me, it's definitely making sure you guys know that if you have friends, if you yourself are like, I've been struggling, I just need to drink more water. What do you do to drink more water? Like, let me know. If you are looking to maybe start chipping away at some serious debt, for long term, if you love people and you want to use the skills you have to maybe make that supplemental income, right? I was subbing, I was staying after school, I was um, department chair, I was all like tennis coach, like I was like plus the teaching job, 5 people, and I was still capped at what I make. And this is not something that I think of as just like making money. This is like my passion. I love health and wellness, and some of us like we're so like I just wish I had that one solution. I wish I could just find a way to actually get myself to do these things that I know I need to do. And it all goes back to the fact that like I remember wanting and wishing, and it wasn't until I added the tea, the F1, and the aloe that I started to see absolute amazing results with my body, my skin, my energy, my motivation, my connection to my goals. And I could see a future. I could see it. I wasn't under this, like, I guess, piles of paper. Like I remember teaching, and I remember when I was first, I hadn't learned about this opportunity before. But I remember a student of mine said he noticed. I think children are very quick when they know when you're not tuned in, tuned out. They know the difference between you checking in and you checking out. I know, and I'm trying my hardest like to stay checked in and give them my entire spirit of love for learning languages. But if I don't have the energy to do that, I just check out, right? And so, but when I do have the energy, I check in, and the kids have better time. I have a better time. I feel more present. I'm doing the deal. And that's what I'm saying is I felt as if when I first started and I was in front of the classroom, I didn't have that. What am I going to do if I don't come to school? And I've waited tables, I've worked at many, many restaurants. You're still only capped. You're still capped, and I feel like this is a huge opportunity for anyone that's looking to maybe consider making some supplemental income on their own terms, working with people they love, that they know, that they have a relationship with, and help them. And some of us have tried the products and have loved them, but now we want the discount. We want to save money. And that, my friends, is possible. And I feel like this is just one way, right? This summer I will be starting my own little lemonade stand where you guys can and I can, you know, it, for a small fee, have all of your drinks, everything that you drink every day, ready to go in your own to go. So I feel like this gives me life. I am, and I just absolutely love the idea that a lot of us are on the go. Like this is reality. This is life now. We are on the go. I will be on the go for the rest of my life. And when we talk about traveling or trying to sustain any kind of healthy regimen, or we are simply trying to replace an unhealthy habit with a healthier one, this has been there for me every step of the way. And it is time, right? It's time that that if you know of somebody who is struggling with their health and wellness, that you send them my way. Um, we are going to be starting our May challenge coming up May 5th, 6th, 6th, 2024. And it does include which is amazing. You get your everything you need and you get to lock arms. We get to lock arms together and get it. And I feel like a lot of us are out there and we just don't know where to start, or the providers that we're connected to are limited in the time that we need and in those small phases and places where maybe we kind of, go to that quick sugar fix. Maybe we're savory people and we love our salt and we've overdone it. Maybe we are overindulging in alcohol. Maybe we're overindulging in unhealthy fats. And we are aware of this, but we don't know how these excesses lead to deficiencies. And when those deficiencies over a long period of time creep up on you, there's only so much time we have to repair. I feel we all want quick fixes. We all want it to be immediate. And that's the world we live in, technically, but it's not the way the human body resolves its deficiencies. We have to eat enough protein. We've got to supplement and add rich vitamins and bioavailable um, minerals. And we have to have enough, vegetables. And now we talking, complex protein chains like amino acids, and maybe have those carbs, right? We've got to have those phytonutrients and we need water. And if I haven't lost you guys, it's tough to do all those things. If you're a mom on the go, like I am, it's tough. Even when you think you're doing it right, even when you think you're doing part of it, but not all of it, but you're close, those are the things that we can make sure with optimum nutrition, we get everything we need when we need it, right? So I am so excited, you guys. So hook yourselves up. I have 5 of these. These are only, first come, first serve, you guys. They are retailing for $15 and you get me for 10 days. We get to discover how we can help you and how to make your future incredible too. I'll see you guys later. If you have any questions, definitely reach out to me. Bye.